actually September 16th, so it's actually been a little bit more over than a month. So the question is, why iPhone? So why am I talking about this great product here? So I know, Kevin, you like numbers, but I'm pretty sure you also like speed. So I'm gonna give you guys a little preview if you guys haven't seen the iPhone. Here's the preview towards it. You guys can enjoy. So we get a feel of how the iPhone 6 actually looks like. So in diameter, it's from the length of the screen, it's actually the biggest screen we have. So it's not as big as the iPhone 6 Plus, but it has 4.6 inches. So it's the bigger model than the other iPhones. So we actually have a 2.64 inches of width. So it's a little bit fattier than the other iPhones we have out there. It's also bigger, so it's 5.44 inches of height. So this bad boy is kind of a big model. It's actually the thinnest one as well, so we'll actually see that. It's 0.27 width. So it's actually thinner than the iPhone Plus as well. So this is actually around 10% smaller than the iPhone 5. And 40% smaller than the iPhone originally that first came out in 2007. So here's what you have this iPhone. How many pixels does it have? It currently has 326 pixels per inch. So it's a lot of pixels. It's high retina display. So we have there, it's a lot that we have for the iPhone. So why is this one different from the other previous inventions we have, the previous iPhones? So we changed the display. We changed the look of it. Previous models, iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, iPhone 4S, are all sharp. This one we kind of went ahead and made it smoother look. So it's actually great for your hand. It's big, but it feels good on your hand. That's the back of it. There's no rough edges. So, you know, I could actually do more. Chances are you'll probably drop it less. There's the other side of it, so we could actually see where you could reset it with the SIM card there. So let's talk about features there. So what does iPhone feature? What are the new features? Why do I need it? Why do you need it, Kevin? So let's go ahead. Here, we got the A8 chip. So this is actually the fastest processor we got for the iPhone, and along that we invented iOS 8, currently out available for previous models as well, but it makes this phone actually faster and better, which for your time, I know you're a busy man, Kevin, so this actually could probably simplify you. It's a quite small benefit, but if it makes your life simple, why not have it? New York Times did say last month that the best part about this phone is actually what's inside of it, which was a A8 chip. We do have something new, something that just came out October. We did get Apple Pay. Apple Pay is where you could pay with your phone, so you don't have to carry your wallet. So you can have all your credit cards, debit cards on your phone, and most merchants like McDonald's do have the little machine that will translate the information from your iPhone, from your either Chase, debit card, Bank of America, whatever provider you have. It'll safely pay whatever you need at a touch of a button. They do have one-touch pay, so you don't have to worry about inputting your passcode over and over and over. It just prints your phone your Touch ID, which is where I'm going at next. Touch ID is something where it securely secures your information, either from unlocking it, so I can't just unlock it, you need a passcode, or your fingertip code. It also, with this new model, we actually went with photos, messages, all that, because I don't want no one seeing my private information as well as yours, right? Because I'm pretty sure you're a really busy man with a lot of financial information in your iPhone. We do still have the FaceTime, so I'm pretty sure we didn't want to remove this feature from previous models because it's been successful. So on this one, it's still the same feature. You could still make calls, see the other person face to face, and like I said, you are busy, so you can't be traveling to all the places, so you can actually make your meetings from this phone onto the other person or a conference. We have EyeSight. EyeSight camera is the most advanced camera display we got. It does concentrate into where you can actually adjust the brightness on the phone, like before you take the picture, and all those good stuff. Slow motion, we have fluid slow motion detection, and time collapse. So where that is, you're recording hours of film of recording in seconds. So that's really neat, especially if you like making videos or something, if that's your hobby. We do have, so I want to go ahead and transition, guys. So we just talked about the features of the phone. Now let's transition to the numbers. So here's the sales of iPhone. Currently, let's go into the demographics here. And Kevin, I know last year in 2013, you went from an iPhone to a BlackBerry. But if we see here, they're not even there. You're right here at the 11%, which you're not with Android or iOS. So, why not join this big family of iOS, since the whole world, according to net applications of this year, so it's not even past statistics, that most users are actually using iOS. Second is Android, but your BlackBerry, not even on the map. So let's get into the bigger picture. Here's the sales currently from since iPhone first launched till up to date. So as you can see, there's an increase there. We're currently at $39.3 million, and it's projected that just from iPhone 6, we will sell 20 million of these by the end of the year. So from September till December, we'll sell 20 million, which will be a record-breaking sell for iPhone. But as iPhone said, we're seeing these numbers will increase every year. They have never been in a bad year. So what I talked about was 3 things, right? I talked about the looks of the iPhone, how smooth, how great it is, the features of it, the security, the benefits towards yourself, and the sales. The numbers don't lie, and we clearly saw that it's increasing every year. So, are you ready to unlock the iPhone?
Ah, very good. Mr. Johnson, you're up first, sir.
Question I got. Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Anthony, and I'm a passionate Apple user.
Good to know your name. It would be good to have you introduce yourself again first. Okay? So the audience gets a connection with you by having your name. But before I get out of the other, I gotta look around here for a second. I hope the 6 ladies that are here weren't offended by you calling them guys for a couple times during the presentation. Okay? When you're talking to the audience, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, you guys, they may not be offended, but maybe somebody else will be, okay? So be cognizant of that. On one of your slides, when you're talking about the diameter of the screen, you mentioned a couple of times it was 4.6 inches, but the slide showed 4.7. What was the disconnect there?
I probably didn't see it.
Oh, okay. You gotta know what's on your slides. As I said the other night, I don't expect you to read them, but know what's there, and pick out 1 or 2 key points that you want to make drive home. Things that you want to, takeaways from that slide, so when I stay with people. couple of times, and I know this is for those who are non-English majors, colloquial term, I don't like, but people, you said you know a couple times. First off, I don't know. Second thing is, you don't know if I do or not. Don't say it, you know. It's a matter of, getting rid of phrases like that, out of the language. Do something for the audience that you don't know. Okay. Who's Kevin?
That's me. It's Kevin O'Leary. He's Mr. Wonderful. So when they refer to me as Kevin, it's
Okay. How can you single him out about 5 times here? I think you over singled him out. Okay, you need to either do 1 or 2 times. The last thing that I'll get off the stage here is your movements were kind of distracting because you were kind of going back and forth too much. How much is too much? How much is not enough? I can't tell you. But I can tell you that was too much. But I drove following you. And I'm trying to look at the slide, and you won't pass it, and I look at the slide, and you won't pass me, and I'm trying to listen to you, and you're moving. You moved to add some difference to what you're doing, so it's not just monotonous looking at one stick figure. But don't overemphasize the movements. It's not a bad criticism, it's just something that, I can't tell you how often it moves, not how often. Okay?
Yes.
Does that make any sense, any of that stuff?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job, man. I think you got an Apple badge hanging up.
I do. Going with that, we'll see.
You working them?
I do not. I work for New Mexico Educators.
So for a little bit there, I thought it was Steve Jobs who was giving us the speech. So I think that was good. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I like that aspect of it. So and the fact that you took time, I mean, right off the bat, I could tell that you were researched the topic well. A lot of good graphs, things like that. So that's good. Here's the bad stuff. You used a lot of verbal fillers, ums and likes, and so. I don't know if that's because of your nerves, but what's the answer to verbal fillers? What are we supposed to insert instead of these words?
Slow down or
Pauses. Pauses. Just to take a second, because it's distracting when you're getting a lot of information, especially when you were going over the eyesight camera. There was a lot of information, and I just focused a lot on your ums and likes. All right. The other thing is, your word choice. So at one point you said fattier. I don't know what's fattier.
I think it was like the width, right? Whenever I was talking about the
Right.
dimensions of it, the specifics.
Do I want a phone that's fat?
No, you want something that's thin.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And then I think at one point in time you said something that was sick. Sick as in it's ill. I don't want a sick phone. Because does that mean it's has viruses?
Ebola.
Okay. So watch your word choice as well, because these types of things we're going to focus on. Now, again, a lot of this is attributed to nerves, right? But if these certain words, if you really trip them up, and we talked about this, there's a particular word that you struggle with, such as fatter, right? And it's fattier. Then I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a disease that's fattier than the next, or if we're talking about phones. But a lot of these things are giving human characteristics to an innate object, which is fine, right? Up to a certain point, where I don't want a fattier phone or a sick phone. You have to be mindful of your audience. All right? All right, Anthony, very good. All right, good job. All right, who would like to go next? Jamil, you're up next. Yes, you may. He's probably not going to
We've got a line.
Okay. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Where are you going
You should leave that.
Let's give it back because that's not 100% driver.
All right.
Okay. All right. 10 points if you're caught distracting. 10 points. One of you has already gotten 10 points off your speech. So I strongly advise you not to. 10 points is a lot.
Good job.
Just start it. You gotta start it first.
I was outside, but I was listening here.
No, start the.
Open
No,
features.
no, open.
Well, I don't see a
Like,
bucket, so now. I found mine.
Okay. Ready? Go ahead.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, how many people have a smartphone? How many of you have a smartphone? All right, how many of you have an iPhone? Right. All right, so talk about a brief history of the iPhone. It's been around for quite some time, a very long time. I think the first iPhone was out in June 27, 2007, and to now. And iPhone has been coming up with ways to make their product more accessible, more compatible, and easy, fast, make more money. So, why should you buy an iPhone 6? The iPhone 6 is sleek, made of metal, glass, seamless metal glass. Very pretty phone. Something that if you were to look at, I would fall in love. Some features that the iPhone 6 holds is reachability. Okay, now we all know that we like to have big phones, we like to have big screens, so we can see what's going on. You, as a businessman, Kevin, you like to do multitask. You like to do multiple things. You like to, take out things at once. So with this, you can have a screen here, a screen there, and all you have to do is swipe, break it down, and then say. Health app. Want to live a long time? Got an app for that, man. Got an app for that. All this stuff. Hydration, blood pressure, activity, nutrition, your cardiovascular stuff, all of that. That good stuff that'll help you live longer, how you eat, stuff like that. This is the good stuff. Apple Pay. You can be in a store, take your phone out, pass it by one of these things, on your way. Save time. There's 3 key points I want to talk about today. It's easy, fast, and it'll save you money. And why you should buy an iPhone. So how is it easy? Well, how is an iPhone easy? The iPhone, much more simple than its competitors. Like I said, you can swipe, it's an intuitive phone. The I in iPhone should stand for intuitive. And intuitive means that you can pick up this phone, in about 10 seconds, you'll know how to use it, what to do with it, what it can do, and what it can't do. And it can do a lot. So who in here is a computer science major? So I thought, no. Do you know what this is? Does anyone understand this? This looks like if you look at this, you'd be wasting a lot of time. So why not go with something that's simple? Because time is money. Look at that, you save a lot of money. Well, we know where everything is. It's easy. So, how is it fast? Ooh, fast. Everyone wants to be fast. The iPhone 6 has the best processor out there, the A8. It's a 64-bit processor that helps you, connect things with blazing fast, internet speeds, stuff like that. Here's a little graph. It's up to 50 times faster than any other iPhone. Now, if you remember how the iPhone 5S was, it's pretty fast. Fast phone, you can do so much in like 30 seconds, and it's 50 times faster. Wow, just travel the world with this phone. And there's a more detailed graph. Milliseconds, lower is better. This right here is a second. This is a second in 1 second and 23 milliseconds. It's 336 milliseconds. Just know how fast that's fast. That's faster than Usain Bolt. It's way fast. Speeding Gonzalez. And that's why the iPhone 6 is winning the race compared to all of its competitors. So, how does it save me money? That's what we're really here for. How does the iPhone save me money? Let me tell you how to save you money. You ever heard the saying, there's an app for that? All right, so you own a lot of businesses, there's an app for that, okay? It's compatible, like I said before, like I said previously, it's compatible with everything. It's an app. So you own a business, say you own a cookie store, right? You wanna know how that business is doing. Go to the App Store, you look up that business name, boom, you know what the business is producing, you know what it's making, how much money it's making, how much money it's losing. Quick video to show you.
What's great about the iPhone is that if you want to check snow conditions on the mountain, there's an app for that. If you want to check how many calories are in your lunch, there's an app for that. And if you want to check where exactly you parked the car, there's even an app for that. Yep, there's an app for just about anything, only on the iPhone.
I couldn't have said it better myself. There's an app for everything. So, as you was looking at the video, you can see that was for the iPhone 3. The iPhone 3, a long time ago, that's the dark ages. I just think from that time to this time, just imagine how much apps we have now and how much faster it is. That's how it's compatible. Now, you like to go on the go. A lot of people, you go on the go, you like to travel, like do business. The iPhone 6 compatible with Mac, iPod. Have, tune, watch an iPhone. So you have an iPhone already, you want to switch to an iPhone 6, it's that easy to switch it over. All right? If you're doing work at home, in your pajamas, chilling with the wife and the kids, Mac, but you gotta go to the grocery store, but you still gotta make this deadline. Well, let me just pass it over to my iPhone 6. And I'm gonna do business while I'm shopping for the wife. Same thing with all of this. You like music? Got an iPod. So why buy an iPhone 6? Thank you, everyone. Thank you. That's my presentation.
All right. Mr. Johnson.
I'm ready, man.
Who are you?
Lay it on. Oh, I'm Jamil Anthony. Yeah, that's what I know. My bad.
Again, you know, it's well, so you introduce yourself so you get a connection with the audience. That way they know you. Do you know how long cell phones have been around?
Yeah, a long time. I remember playing with my mom's phone. It was like a little Nokia. It came around for quite some time.
Since the mid-80s.
Yes, I don't know.
I used to use them, they were bricks.
Yeah, I was trying to be mean.
5 pounds. So when you talk about the cell phones have been around for a long time, very long time, quite some time, long time, you said.
Yeah,
Been around. For 7 years, when you're talking about that, it's not long. What's impressive is the rate of technology improvements and growth in sales during that 7 years for the iPhone. And that, I think, should have been the main point. And that's impressive. You know, talking about, hey, they've been around since 86, cell phones have been around. But the last 7 years, the technology that Apple has put into their iPhones has far surpassed everybody else. And the sales have improved that. The thing that Gavin was talking about too with Anthony is word choice. You know, there's a lot of good stuff. This stuff. I don't know what stuff is. Okay. And I understand, you know, It's the normal speech patterns that you use with friends and buddies and everything else. But that's not the speech pattern you're gonna use for a presentation to unknown people.
So what would be like the best way to, move the word stuff? What could I replace that word with?
Good characteristics, good applications, good, better weight, better, larger screen for good visibility.
Okay.
Instead of saying, those are probably stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. But give some specific items. And you use so a lot of times. In fact, you ended sentences with the word so. You're waiting for the so, what, follow. Don't leave me hanging. Again, you use you know, and again I say, I don't know. Don't use, assume that people know by saying that. Your note cards were a distraction. You kept fumbling with them and looking at them, moving them and shuffling and stuff.
It's
Everything's a distraction.
it's just bad.
So know your material better that you don't have to use the note cards.
I try to do that.
That's a fairly easy fix. Like, these are all fairly easy fix, just takes a little wisdom. The 3 points that you want to cover,
It was easy
I
and fast.
kind of got lost in there a little bit, moving around. So I wasn't sure what your 3 points were, but I think they're simple, fast, and saving money.
Yeah.
Okay. But it took me a while to really figure those out, but
Okay.
I kind of got lost. The last thing is, a couple times you whispered. You kind of like turn to the side of the chart and say, that's good stuff. Okay. I can't hear you today. And I'm deaf in one ear, I could barely hear you up here. But I heard you. That's all I got. Other than that, you're passionate about iPhones too.
So iPhones, they get delayed.
Yeah, so as far as your speech is concerned, you get good digital aids. I have to echo the same sentiments as far as your note cards are concerned. That's why, and this goes to everyone, that's why you have PowerPoints, right? I mean, you shouldn't have both, because you don't need one. Those are giant note cards on the screen where you don't see me lecturing with note cards, right? Because all the stuff that I'm going to talk about is on the screen. The other thing is, it's almost like, it seemed to me like you were presenting for yourself. And what I mean by that is, you would say something like, that is good. I'm kind of a big deal.
I was kind of confident in myself. Like I'm really like, I'm surprised I actually did that, because some of the stuff I don't even remember writing down.
Yeah. Well,
I just came at the top of the head.
yeah, and you'll see that, in the video. That's fine to be confident, but when you say something like, "Wow, that was good, man," this is internal monologue. Okay, this is stuff you just say in your head. You don't verbalize. You just say, "Hey, that was a good point," in your head, because we don't need to hear that. Because that's what happens when you whisper.
I was just excited. I'm sorry.
No, hey, don't be. Hey, apologize. Just next time, don't verbalize it, because we can tell that you're excited about yourself. Okay. All right. So,
It's bad stuff, man. It's bad stuff.
well, the bad stuff. Okay. Well, there wasn't too much, but you rambled. You rambled a lot.
Okay.
You just went on and on and on, and it lost me. I started doodling. So,
To be completely honest, I was gonna finish a sentence in mid-sentence, I just forgot what the rest of the sentence was. No, to be honest, not even trying to be funny. And I just tried to come up with different words that would
Yeah.
fit the sentence, and it didn't work. And yeah, that's
well, we can talk about that. There's ways to work through that, so that way you think on your feet, but you don't just blank out, on the feet. All right. Good job. All right. Who's next? Okay. Oh, and outlines. Some of you are losing 10 points or easy 10 points. I did.
Dude, I was watching so many Steve Jobs videos. I watched like hours
I got it. That's why I wanted to go first. So I went to you.
Sure, that's fine. Just, what's that? And then, I'm gonna email you some other stuff from activities or assignments that have to be discussed,
I was like,
okay?
I didn't get it.
Okay, so, next time, schedule therapy after class. Okay, shh, be quiet, 10 points if I catch you distracting the speaker. Alright, go ahead.
Alright, so I'm just gonna start us off with a simple question. If you were in this situation, in this snowy tundra, I don't know why you're there. Oh, I'm Alex Feedback, by the way. But if you're here, I don't know why you're there, I don't know how you're there, but if you're there and you look down, what kind of brand of clothing would you want to be wearing? What do you think would make you the most comfortable, the safest, and the warmest? Any ideas?
Boots.
North
Cool
Face.
brands.
North
Nice.
Face. North Face.
Okay, well, maybe here's some options. There's this one. Okay, so maybe Under Armour. Under Armour is a really well-established brand. They have really stylish clothes. They're really known for that. Maybe the North Face, you don't know much about them, possibly. They're a big snowboarding company, same thing with Columbia, you know? You don't.
Would someone like to come up there and help her?
Is your platform good? That was
Sorry.
Oh, I'm cool with that.
Whatever. Okay.
You just stick with them.
So I'm from Colorado and I've lived there my entire life. So being there, I've seen all kinds of extreme weather conditions, whether it be snow, sleet, rain, wind, sun, everything. And I've seen it all and I've worn it all. I've had all different kinds of brands of outdoor clothing, be it North Face, Columbia, all of it. And the brand that I continually see myself going back to is the North Face. And for 3 reasons why I think that it's the premier outdoor outerwear clothing company is because of the quality, the style, and the price. So first I'm going to tell you about who the North Face is. So the definition from Wikipedia is that the North Face Incorporated is an American outdoor product company specializing in outerwear, fleece, coats, shirts, and equipment such as backpacks, tents, and sleeping bags. It was founded in 1968 in San Francisco, and the target audience are college students, climbers, mountaineers, skiers, snowboarders, hikers, and endurance athletes. So pretty much anyone and everyone wear it, and they sponsor numerous amounts of athletes, which just shows about their credibility. If professional athletes are willing to wear the North Face on TV, then why shouldn't you want to wear it? So the first reason why I think that the North Face is the premier outerwear company is because of the quality. Straight from the website on thenorthface.com, you can see that the North Face guarantees all their products for life. Now this is a really big thing because you usually don't go to a store and buy a shirt and expect to be able to wear that shirt for the rest of your life. You expect, stitches to break and anything like that. So it's a really big deal that this company is saying that you're going to be able to wear this product for as long as you're going to want to wear this product. Also, they will refund or exchange any product with manufacturing defects, and all their shoes have a 1-year warranty. This is also a really big deal because it's uncommon that you will find a company that will fix anything that they did wrong, and plus if you buy something and realize you don't like it in 2 months, you're going to be able to take it back. So another great thing about the North Face, I believe, is the style. Not only is it really attractive, not only is it really modern and you're going to look good, but all of their clothing is very technologically advanced. In 2013, Bloomer and Business Week did a study, and they found that North Face spent millions of dollars improving the technology of their clothing. So 2 examples are the Thermoball jacket and the flash dry shirts. Inside the Thermoball jacket, there's tiny ball-shaped clusters of fiber. What these clusters of fiber do is they act like down. As you know, down's a very popular thing in outerwear and coats because it's very warm and it's very light. Well, these tiny ball-shaped clusters of fiber, they're just as warm as down and they're just as light as down. But they react to wet weather a lot better, which is really important for people that are going to be exposed to snow and rain. Now the flash dry shirt is also very technologically advanced. It has something called particle additive. Now this particle additive, what it does is it speeds your sweat evaporation. important, as you know, if you're gonna be exalting any physical energy, then you're gonna be sweating. And especially in cases of cold, when you're in the snow, it can be really dangerous if you're sweating a lot, and then that snow, or the cold weather, makes the sweat colder and you're at risk for hypothermia. So with the particle additive, you're a lot safer wearing these clothes because the sweat's gonna evaporate faster and therefore you're gonna be safer. Now the third thing that sets North Face apart from other competitors is the price. Now the North Face is a luxury brand, so you're not gonna go and expect to buy a $30 jacket. But what you will find is very durable, long-lasting equipment and clothing that is not at a very expensive rate compared to other his competitors. So I found 3 very similar items. There's the women's Kumbutu jacket from the North Face for $80. There's the women's Altitude Aspect for $100, and that is from Columbia. And there's the women's Essential Tweed jacket from Under Armour, which is $129.99. So all 3 of these products, as you can see, are very similar. I may say that the North Face is probably better durability, but it's considerably less than its competitors. So on jacketreviews.com, there was a review that said, judging from its looks, functionality, and durability, the North Face is always a good buy. This says a lot because this is a forum where people go out and discuss what they think about their jackets. There's nowhere more honest than a discussion board because no one has anything to lose or gain from posting a discussion. So that this person said that the North Face is always a good buy is very credible. And also that there's people on there saying how long it will last them and how comparing to other products, the North Face is always better. So I hope that you guys found that the North Face is a great decision to use if you want to buy out of our products or equipment because of the price, because of the style, and because of the quality. All 3 of those are great aspects of the North Face and set it far apart from all of its competitors. So I hope you guys remember this the next time that you find yourself in a situation like this, and if you look down and see what you're wearing, you see the North Face, and the only thing you have to worry about is to never stop exploring. Thank you.
What was your name again?
Alex, my bad.
You kinda got lost there in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You rejected the right ones. 2 ways you can do that. One, you introduce yourself right off the bat, or 2, in this case, because you want to introduce the question to the audience and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then introduce yourself and say, I'm going to now talk about,
Oh, okay.
explain why North Face is a better product.
Okay.
Answer. So you don't need to, get up there right away and say, I'm Allison.
Yeah. My bad.
But do it fairly upfront. So you got their attention by the question, then you introduce yourself and get that connection with the audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
You. Note cards.
Yeah.
Need I say that they are a distraction?
No,
I
I
think
got
they're a
that.
distraction to you too.
Yeah.
One of the things that you were trying to read off on was these long laundry lists of different attributes that the product has in different cases.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to list out that long list of attributes or put them on a slide.
Okay.
One or the other. If you say that, hey, it's got the, I don't know, it's got thermal protection, it's got this and that, the top 3 or 4 things off that laundry list of 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And say there are several more for what. Don't need to go after each one.
Okay.
Draw their attention with the important ones. You put them all on the chart,
Mm-hmm.
and then hit 2 or 3 of them.
Okay.
Because by the time you got through, it was 7 or 8, out of the
Yeah.
9 or 10. I'm lost and I forgot the rest of them.
Okay.
I don't know which one's important. Do you normally talk faster or are you
I
just
talk
nervous?
really fast all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Practice slowing down a little bit when you do presentations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do presentations that if you listen to them in a normal conversation, we'll talk a mile a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You put them on a stage and it takes 5 minutes to say 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Just slow way down. It's a matter of discipline. Just
Okay.
force yourself to slow down, to allow people to listen
Yeah.
and hear what you're saying. You made the comment that North Face is probably better.
Yeah. Okay.
That that's an assumption on your part,
Mhm.
it's not based on any fact.
Okay,
At least you didn't demonstrate it,
yeah,
but you could have.
okay,
So when you make those kinds of statements, always back it up with fact or don't use it.
okay,
Probably, or something nebulous like that that's, you can't put your arms around.
okay.
And there were 5 other women here, you said you guys,
Okay,
okay? You know, it may be a pet peeve of mine, but it's one of those things that just, it's manners when you're on stage,
mhm,
okay?
okay, thank you.
Your turn.
Yeah, so I trying to be mean here, and I really can't. There wasn't really anything that really jumped out at me that, other than you talking fast, so slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to think. It seemed good. The only thing that I think, the intro, it was good. It was set up well with the picture and picturing us there.
mhm,
But the way you phrased it was, what are we wearing? And
Yeah.
I said boots. Someone
Oh,
said
okay.
jacket. Someone else said this. And you're like, brands. I'm thinking brands. Well, tell us that, right?
Okay.
So you just picture yourself in a down jacket. What kind of down jacket are you
Yeah.
picturing yourself in? Well, I'm here to tell you
Yeah.
that the North Face has the best products for cold weather in the market. Something like that.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going to put forth the time and effort to have a picture and to put yourself to have us picture ourselves there, get credit for it, right?
mhm,
So really make sure that it's impactful. And, you know, starting with the bang, the attention grabber. Make sure it's a good one, not just kind of falling flat. All
Okay.
right, that's it.
Good job.
All right. Yeah, and then no cards. No cards. We talked about this. Remember, it was Breaking Bad. Trying to break your bad stuff.
Okay, so these were decided as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
it's not working. Well, I'll help you get it. Oh, my flash drive's still in there.
How many more do we have left to go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh gosh. Okay. All right.
It's likely not gonna
Yeah,
actually do that.
that's fine.
Okay.
Put these on YouTube. Especially.
I have security
more than
clearance, you
half
cannot
go
put me on YouTube.
last on the whole day.
Is it gonna, you gonna blow it?
Sure you will.
I'm more than happy to.
That's not fair that you say everyone's, I should go last one.
Because the key is to use every advantage that you could possibly
That's
see.
true. Maybe I'm a genius.
That's business.
Everything wrong.
You know what?
Mr.
Well,
Johnson has a question.
I think you.
I think that you should be meanest at the end.
Pardon? And on the iPhone, I happen to have one. I only use 2 apps.
Really?
Yeah, talking and listening. That's all I do. I don't need any other garbage.
No, the other ones.
But
What else we gotta hang up?
someone today
There's no email.
from that.
Can't go select all and
Go next time.
I know, I wish there.
And let me tell you why you want me to go.
Yeah,
for
don't use, like,
next time.
some of the
I can
people
persuade you because you're a teacher and you're a good man. And what you want to see is that we are displaying
Yeah.
what
That's
you
why I'm
taught
saying
us,
a
and you
progression.
want us to
Yeah.
succeed.
Like role
Right. And you want us to
I-
make a
I've
good
had like 15,000.
impression on our guests. And you want us to make it with a bang. Now, I want to do all of those things for you.
Nope.
All right, here we go.
About that.
All right, I'll marinate on that.
So did you change the batteries?
Change the batteries,
More
there's like
batteries.
those ones.
Can I
'cause-
put the like
We
numbers
can turn
on?
off the.
Yeah, no, it's like on. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
on,
on.
I just, maybe it's
Maybe it's
down
not
or
connected, is
something.
there like a signal?
Because it was working.
I don't know. Who set it up? How do you? I think I might have unplugged it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was someone's flash drive. That's okay.
Oh.
Be quiet, be quiet. Let's try to get as many as we can done today, please.
Yay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So, my name is Sarah Higgy, and I want you guys to start riding your bike to work. So, things that I would like you to know are the cons of driving, the pros of biking, the health and the financial benefits, as well as the reasons why you should bike rather than drive. So, some of the things and cons about driving is the fact that it is the 9th leading cause of death globally.
scare because of the fact that, you know, you can't always control the traffic around you. The National Household Travel Survey in 2009 stated that 1 in 12 U.S. households alone do not own cars, which does not seem, most all of us think that everyone owns a car. As well as the fact that about 13% of people of the age 15 years and older do not drive. The National Safety Council states that by 2020, 1.9 million lives will be lost due to the fact of road crashes or injuries and death-related traffic issues. So, some of the pros of biking alongside that is the fact that the same National Household Travel Survey, stated that in 2001 between 2009, the people who bike to work actually doubled. So, in 2010, the U.S. Census Bureau stated that 55% of people actually ride their bike as their primary transport to work. Another thing is that we actually have a website in Albuquerque called bikeabq.org, and they have some interesting things as well as like road maps and things, you know, where the routes that they put in town are, so you can get to your work safely. Other things like memberships, you can sign up and learn about different events that they're going to hold, and different things that come with those memberships, so it's a really neat opportunity. Obviously, it doesn't seem like it, but biking is safer than driving. Driving actually puts you at a risk of dying from 1 in 375,412 people. Whereas biking, you are in a chance of dying is 1 in 17,625. So that is a significant difference. So, some of the health benefits. Obviously, biking is a form of exercise. Exercise is very healthy for everyone. But there's more to biking than people give it credit for. Just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, can burn up to 11 pounds of fat in a year, which is pretty significant when you don't really realize that you're doing that. Another thing is that biking for just an hour alone can burn up to 300 calories. So it's definitely an impact on your exercise. Another thing is that the British Medical Association said that cycling 20 miles a week can reduce your coronary heart disease possibility by 50%. And it increases your cardiovascular fitness by 3 to 7%. So significant help when it comes to your benefit, to your health. And it's not that hard. You bike to work and then you can change your clothes. Some places are really nice, they actually have bike lockers. My dad actually biked to work for 20 more years. And he had asked a couple businesses if they would put in bike lockers. Some did, not all do, but it's a really neat way to also help get your work involved. So, some of the financial benefits as well are the fact that cost of maintaining and owning a car can be over $9,000 a year, or the average 18% of a household income. That is a lot of money when you think about it, just in 1 year alone, just to pay for a car. Then you've got other people, you've got mom and dad with a car, you've got the oldest with a car, I mean, it just goes on and on. Whereas owning a bike can cost as little as $120 a year, so it's a significant difference. I did a little calculation, as you can see up here, of my personal gas use just traveling to UNM alone, in the rough estimate of 5 days a week for about 8 months, which is like both semesters, so about 32 weeks of school, and I get about 30 miles per gallon in my car, and it came out to $331.52 just in gas alone per year. So, I mean, I would like not to have to pay that. You know, biking is an easy way to avoid that. I mean, obviously the gas cost to ride your bike is absolutely nothing. So another neat thing is that, like I said, with my dad biking to work, he saved us a lot of money with gas, besides a lot of money not having to own a car. So over his 20 plus years of riding to work, he saved 2,700 gallons of gas, as well as $8,000 worth of gas, just for riding his bike to work. So one person. As I said, the financial benefit, there's another benefit to joining the membership with the Bike ABQ. They've got discounts to bike shops, as well as discounts to other businesses related to bikes and outdoor things like that. And then discounts to special events. So if they've got a bike event going on that they want people to come and be a part of. A neat thing that I noticed is a lot of farmers markets and in-town special events tend to have what they call bike valets now. So you can ride your bike down there rather than driving, and you pay them, I think I've seen the highest is like $1. And they'll make a tab of your bike with your name and all that, and tag the bike and give you another tag, and then you go back and you get your bike and you ride home when you're done. Some examples of that are the Rail Yards Market as well as the Bacon Festival, had that. So a lot of neat opportunities that are also very cost effective. So, some things that I would like you guys to know is that it's a fun opportunity to meet new people. There's a definitely diverse group of people who like to bike ride, and it allows you to join in a new community. In 2011, the League of American Bicyclists stated that the month of May would be National Bike Month. So the neat thing about that is obviously in 2011, the dates were different than now, but they have a bike month, a bike week, and a bike day. So different things to get you involved and make it kind of fun and celebratory. Another thing is that I hope you guys are interested in getting a bike. There's a couple stores in town I have also listed on the outline I gave you. Fat Tire Cycles, Bike Works, Albuquerque, Performance Bike, Cycle Cave, and Sports Systems. And so there's a lot of neat opportunities for bike and work for fun and all that stuff. So I would like you guys to watch this video real quick.
The busier we get, the harder it is to find time for a workout. Exercise helps ward off problems like diabetes and heart disease, and doctors say it only takes 30 minutes daily to see huge health benefits. Biking can help you achieve those 30 priceless minutes of daily cardio by riding with your family in the park or to the store. Another way to incorporate a few short workouts weekly is commuting to work using the Ride the City routes and other city streets and trails. Most commutes around Cape Girardeau are less than 2 miles, and adding at least 1 commute a week by bike is good for your body, mind, and environment. Our environment is everything impacted by our presence. You can help create safer, slower streets for pedestrians and children, as well as quieter, more peaceful neighborhoods by riding the city and replacing some automobile trips with bicycle trips. Increased biking will help your city reduce long-term road repair costs.
So, I hope that you guys can start riding your bike to work, at least maybe 1 day a week.
A lot of information crammed in there. Awesome. Good job on it. I wish you would have slowed down a little bit in your speech. I got confused when you were talking about the rates of death per
Yes.
X number for cars and X number for bicycles.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I got them confused in my head, but I think it was lower for, you got a greater risk on biking than cars.
It was actually the other way. But
Yeah,
yes,
you
sorry.
You said it that way.
Oh, I did. I apologize.
So I wasn't the only one confused.
Yeah.
I get confused easy at my age. I dozed off. And I use that word pump to make a point. Probably 25 times or 30 times.
I have 28. 28 ums.
I lost count. There's another one. So, I don't know how many so's were in there. Did you count those?
I have 14 so's.
And a few you knows.
Didn't count those.
Well, there's only a couple of ones. Again, going back to what Gavin was talking about earlier, pause instead of using those noun words. Other than that, I think you did a good job.
Name. Oh, yeah.
24 ums. 24. That's when I started counting. So who knows how many you had before that? So with ums, verbal and vocal fillers, you use pauses. Those have meaning. The ums and the so's don't have meanings. Especially if they get to the 20s, then I start counting how many ums and so's that you like. So is a transitional phrase. When you say something, so that this, if then, so. A lot of times what you're doing, and if you notice I'm doing it right now, if there's a break, instead of filling with an or a so, you pause. Take a second to gather your thoughts, and then keep going. So that way when these speakers are up there in the front, or audience members I should say, they're not counting the ums and the so's. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'd like for you next time is insert the pause. The other thing that I'd like to mention is your visual aids are great, They're good, they're colorful, all that stuff. They're far too cluttered. You had a graph on other slides in addition to these bullet points. I didn't know where you want me to focus on, other the graphs or whatever. Some of the other students are putting just the graph on or just bullet points. That's what I would recommend that you do, is one or the other, so that way we're not going like this with our eyes.
Okay.
All right? That's it. Can you go again?
I do need a weekend.
Go again. I thought you wanted to help me out.
We'll bring it twice.
You brought ice cream?
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Speaking of which, because of the fact that we're not going to get through everyone today, we're going to have to go tomorrow, on Tuesday. On Thursday, I need you guys to be on point because we got to get through a lot of stuff on Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, see, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to be on point because of the fact that we're going to have a lot to cover. So if we go into Tuesday, which looks like we are, we have a lot to cover on Thursday. Don't forget your extra credit. Extra credit.
Which, since we're not forgetting, could you remind us what that is?
I sent you an email.
You just leave it out here.
It's a survey.
Oh.
An email to what email?
To your name.
Ah, okay, it was.
All right.
Thank you.
Today starts all the way until Sunday. Survey month.
All right. Just go in the morning. I'm doing a sleep study.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Shh. Be quiet, guys. 10 points. Quiet.
All right, guys and gals, my name is Daniel Wilson, and I'm going to tell you why all college students, everyone in this room, should be voting at our next election. So first, before I get started, I want to show of hands. How many of you guys have ever voted before? Anyone? Have you voted? Okay. Cedric, why not?
I was uninformed.
Uninformed. Okay. Robert, why not? Let me see if you raised your hand.
Oh, I did.
Before?
And my name's Kevin, actually.
Kevin? Oh, Kevin. Sorry. Steven, you have voted? Why not?
Because I was not registered.
We're not registered? Okay, those are all good reasons. So first off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we vote. We were founded as a Republican democracy. The people elect individuals to run the government because we have 330 million people in this country. It's kind of hard for every person to have their own say in the government. So that's why we have voting and we elect people to do it for us. You can see this little guy who voted. All right, so these are some typical answers of why you vote, why you don't vote. Lines are too long, don't keep up with the issues, don't like politics, I don't like people running, I didn't know about it, registering's too difficult. It's hard, it's a very confusing business. All right, so I'm going to debunk some of your typical objections to voting. So one of the most common is statistically, my vote won't make a difference. Say Albuquerque, 1 out of 1 million people. It's not going to matter if I vote, 1 out of 1 million, there's no difference. But actually, history has shown that in recent elections, they can be decided by just a handful of votes, especially if you're in local contests, because oftentimes they come up ties, so they just flip a coin to decide the winner. Second typical objection is that I don't like anyone running. We hear this a lot from people, especially whenever their certain candidate in the primaries doesn't get elected, they say, I don't like either of them. But still, it's your duty to, even if you have to choose the lesser of two evils, to do that, because you have to get your, you need to get your opinions out there so that everybody knows. And the third typical objection is the most common. People say, especially college students, they say, it won't affect me. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who my Secretary of State is. But it does, because all the time, politicians are making new rules for college. For instance, college loans. How many of you guys have taken out a loan? Y'all done that? I've taken out a couple. And then also education costs. They can make it cheaper, they can make it more expensive. If you vote and put the person in office who has the same ideas as you, you can get what you want done. All right? So one really cool thing about just turning 18, we just got out of high school, now we can vote. Now we can make the decisions. This kid, Jeffrey Knight, he's across the hall from me. I really like this quote he gave me, I was talking about it. He said, ever since I was a child, I wanted to be the one to make a difference. I wanted to change our country. I wanted to fix what my parents and grandparents did wrong. Now that I can vote, I can change anything. That's really inspiring. It shows that we as a generation, we can make the rules now. So instead of making excuses as to why not to vote, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why every one of you should be at the voting ballot next year. All right, so first off, it's your constitutional right. Second, you can shape social agenda. Third, shape foreign policy. Fourth, have your say in environmental issues. And fifth, because as college students, you are the most underutilized voting bloc. All right, so first, it's your constitutional right. Just as you've been told since elementary school, voting is extremely important. It's your civic duty. Most governments around the world, you don't get any say in what your government does. But here, you have the say. You are the people. You are in control. If you don't, with voting, you make your democracy healthy. All right? Second is a social agenda. So if you're passionate about a particular issue, gay marriage is big, decriminalization of marijuana was huge in this last election. That's why most people actually went to vote. You can go and you can vote and you can let your topics and let your opinions be known. That's the importance of voting. Third is foreign policy. Leaders in Washington, D.C., all the time they're going to decide what to do in foreign countries. But you have to realize that the people they're going to send overseas, they're not going to be them. They're going to be the young people. They're going to be us. So we need to make sure they know what we want to do too. Next is the environmental issues. The environment is very big in the political discourses of today. It's a very big topic because a lot of ecologists say that life on Earth very soon is going to change because we aren't taking control of the environment. So even if you agree with that or not, it's important to let your opinions be known so that you can get done what you want. And then this is the last. This is why college students are so special. So we are a very underutilized voting bloc. We're part of the last generation of Gen Y. We're called millennials. Now, another generation, I'm assuming that you're a baby boomer. I'm not 100% sure. Are you close to it? No. Are you not? Okay. Well, the baby boomers are the biggest. Are you before the baby boomers? Oh, dang. Wow. No. Well, my grandfather's a baby boomer, and he talks about this all the time. They were the biggest bloc to come along. Right after World War II, the soldiers came home, made a bunch of babies. That's that generation. Now we are the next biggest generation coming after that. We're called Gen Y, called millennials. And if we mobilized, we could be a much more powerful force, and we could get done what we want to do. We could fix the government. We could fix what's wrong. All right. This is another thing. You need to realize that you need to vote anytime you get the chance. Throughout the history of our country, the highest percentage of voters we've had in our country is 56%. And that was 150 years ago. We have been nowhere near 56% since then. In fact, the election that was on Tuesday, we're at 39.8%, which is actually really good for a midterm. I was impressed. Yeah, but we're today, if you break 45%, that's a statistical, it never happens anymore. All right? And then also don't forget city and state elections. Everybody loves voting for the presidential election. They feel like that's what's going to impact them the most, but it's not, because the president isn't going to be the one to regulate your taxes, to regulate your roadways in your city. That's going to be your governor, your mayor, all those things. So that's why it's really important to be sure you vote in city and state elections. All right, and in conclusion, you need to vote so you can be heard, vote so you can make it better tomorrow. And there's a rule that my government teacher told me whenever I was taking it. He said, if you have a problem with the government, you cannot complain if you didn't vote, because then you didn't give any effort, and you just have to suck it up. So there you go, that's all. Thank you. All right.
Your phone isn't off.
Okay. I'll work on that.
Well, they did use some ones, but a lot of
27. Okay. 27.
And the other one was all right. It seemed to be your transition from one thought to every other thought.
Okay. Change that up.
Don't change it, just get rid of it.
Okay.
I guess that's a change. Just don't. Your slides have an awful lot of text on them. They're not lost on the slides.
Okay.
I think I mentioned the other night, try to do them in bullet format. Take that text, take the key sentences out of there, put them in a short bullet.
Yeah.
Incomplete sentences. If nothing else, a prepositional phrase. It's like bang, bang, bang. And then you can talk to them. Pick one of those, if you put three up there, talk to one. The most important one you think. The one that you want to drive home. That you want the audience to take away. I should be using your conclusion. You stated it. Then that's all.
Okay.
So there's no more work on a conclusion that transitions to the audience for the takeaway. Summarize your 3 points, whatever your main, drive home your last one main point out of all that you're talking about. Get out and vote. It's your right. Do it. Something like that. Other than that, you got an awful lot of good information. Too much on the slides, too busy.
Maybe.
Short those down. Because you're covering it.
So they were just a little wordy. Slides are, alright.
Okay.
I'm glad you said all of those things, because those sound eerily similar to what I've been teaching this semester, isn't it? I don't know why you guys are still doing this, why you're still putting complete sentences and things like that. Mr. Wilson, can I read?
Yes.
Can I read?
I'm assuming you can.
Yes. So why are you reading to me like it's a bedtime story?
So that way I don't miss any of the information, I don't misinform you.
Can I read?
Yes.
So why are you reading it to me?
To make sure you don't miss it, because if you read it, you probably would read it wrong.
Oh, so I can't read well then?
No, because I didn't put all the information on the slides that I said.
Okay. So it's either I can't read or I can't read well.
Are you saying he's incompetent?
No, I'm not saying he's incompetent, I'm saying he doesn't know the full information that's on the slide. Just because it's on the slide doesn't, and what I say, there are different things.
Exactly. So why is it that why are you reading it to me?
Because, so that way I don't miss the information that I'm trying to tell you.
Oh. Is it about you though when you make a speech? What's the first step? Is it about
It's
you?
me relaying information to you.
Ah,
And
but I
that's
can
why-
read though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So don't read it to me, because I can read.
Alright.
Alright? It's your job as a speaker to elaborate on these points. So when you say voting is good, it's your God-given rights, then you can tell me why. Then you can tell me about the 54%. Then you can tell me about all these different things, because that's why you're the speaker.
Okay.
Because it's your job to elaborate on these things so I pay attention. Because if you're just reading to me on the slide, I get lost. Alright? The other thing is, I don't know, there's a lot of white space and it was easy to read, but I don't know if I was in a snowstorm or if I was just going on to the other side, but there was just a lot of white.
Are you talking about like on the text box?
The background was just white.
Oh, okay, so, alright.
So it just seemed like there's a lot of white. So next time, try to come up with a template. Remember we talked about this, having a template, so it's colorful, it's engaging, so that way I don't kind of fade off into the snow. Alright? Alright, that's it, man.
Okay.
Alright, good job. I think that's about it for now. We're gonna do the rest on Tuesday. So don't get, hey, wait, don't get, we still got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes. So at this point in time, here's how this is gonna go. On Tuesday, we got persuasive speeches, pretty much. Raise your hand if you haven't gone yet. Okay, you gotta be here. No more snack time, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You gotta be here at 3:30, okay? You can get Chick-fil-A afterwards. 3:30 here, so we can finish them all up. Because then we gotta do impromptu speeches shortly thereafter. So we got speeches. Not today, it's 4:40. Not today, on Thursday of next week, all right? All right, and then if you go today, I'll post this on the YouTube as well as on our homepage. So you got a week from today, if you went today, to do your paper. Good job. Thank you. All right, now you can No, hand it to me. Hand it. Yes.
Yes.
I don't think so. Of this. Yes. Stacy's got. Yeah, it's a book.
Alright.
No, this. The persuasive speech.
Are we just like choosing topics and class?